Round Rock, Texas was recently voted the #1 place to live in America by the Today Show. And if you've ever been to Round Rock, or if you've visited, seen the area, anything like that, you can understand why. There's a lot going on in Round Rock, a lot of opportunities, there's a lot of jobs, bunch of schools, all that kind of stuff. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down some of that information and going through it with you guys. And I'm even going to dive into something that you should be aware of when you're looking for a home, something that could cost you more money monthly if you're not careful. So if you want to know more, stay tuned. So Round Rock's going to be located north of Austin, and it's the largest city in Williamson County as far as population is concerned. It's sitting right now at a little bit below 120,000, and that number's been increasing every year. Lots of people moving to Round Rock. A lot of people are loving living in Round Rock, and you can see why. Even though Round Rock's located about 30 miles north of Austin, don't think that your commute's going to be easy. So this is one of the things you should be aware of. You got to know that Round Rock has a lot of traffic. Anywhere between Round Rock and Austin, it just backs up. You got a lot of people commuting to Austin for work, so if that's going to be the case for you, just know, I'll tell you, I have some friends that live in Round Rock and they commute to Austin for work, and they say it can take them up to an hour, maybe even a little over an hour at times. It just depends. When there's a wreck and things like that, it slows it way down. So not only are you dealing with just the normal traffic and congestion, you're also, when you add a wreck to the mix, it extends that by a lot. So just be aware that if you're working in Round Rock, you might be all right. If you're working in Austin, be careful. So you're going to find a lot of different home types in Round Rock. You've got your single family residences, your normal homes. You've got your golf course communities. You've got condos, townhouses, apartments, and plenty of homes to lease if that's what you want to do when you're first getting settled, trying to figure out what area of town you want to live in. A lot of clients that I work with, when they're relocating, they'll consider renting first just to make sure that that's where they want to live before they buy that house. Now that being said, the longer you wait to buy the house, there's a chance that those prices are going to go up because people are still moving to the area. Even with the market correcting, we're still getting a lot of people coming to the area, and that's inventory levels are low, so it's driving the prices up. So just be aware of that before you make that move, before you make that decision. At the end of the day, you got to do what's best for you, and we can help you with either one of those. Niche.com ranked the schools in Round Rock, RRISD, as they give it an A. So if you guys haven't looked at niche.com, it's A, A-, B, all that kind of stuff, all the way down to like D. So it's kind of like a school grade, right? So they take reviews and they look at the rankings for the schools, and they put together basically a report card of the city. 35th, they're calling it 35th best school district in the state of Texas, which is not bad considering how big Texas is and how many school districts there are in the state of Texas. Ranking number 35 is at the top of the list. As far as the communities, very diverse, tons to choose from. Depending on what your hobbies are, there's things you may want to live close to, and getting around Round Rock, there's enough major thoroughfares that getting around's not too terribly bad. There are those traffic errors where people are trying to get to IH-35 to go up and down Austin and whatnot. Usually it's going south to get to Austin and then coming north to come home. But other than that, not too terribly bad getting around. With 120,000 people, I mean, it's big city, guys. It's big city living. If you're looking to move to Texas and live in the country, you're probably going to want to look somewhere else other than Round Rock. One of the benefits, though, of having that big city living in Round Rock is you don't really need to go anywhere else for entertainment, for any of your extracurricular activities. There's lots of parks, lots of hike and bike trails, lots of outdoor stuff out there. And some of the cool things they've got Dell Diamond. So if you're into baseball, it's a minor league baseball team for the Texas Rangers called the Round Rock Express. They've got Kalahari Water Resort. They've got Old Settlers Park, which is huge. And if you've watched any of my other videos, you've probably heard me mention it because there's a lot in Old Settlers Park. You can go spend the day at the park and do 15 different activities in the same place. So definitely worth checking out. And if you've got kids, they'll have a blast. And if Kalahari's not your thing, the big water park, resort type water park, there's also a water park in Old Settlers Park. So lots of options for that kind of stuff. When it comes to home prices, Round Rock's going to be in the mid 400,000s, so that's the average. Okay, there are some that are a lot higher and there are some that are lower, but you're looking at roughly mid fours. Lots of communities again to choose from. What I would recommend if you guys are coming out to Round Rock is get a hold of us, give us a call, text, email, nights, days, weekends. We'll put you in the right direction based off of the things that you want and the things that you need. We'll tell you what areas you should maybe consider based off of those needs and wants. When it comes to picking a place and a location in Round Rock, it's spread out enough and big enough to where you're going to have easier access to things depending on what part of town you live in, just like anywhere else. But Round Rock really is set up to where, yes, you can get around easy within Round Rock, but at the same time, if you frequently go to Old Settlers Park, there's plenty of communities next to Old Settlers Park. If you like to get out and go running from your house and run through the park kind of thing, you're not going to want to run across town to do that. It's far. I mean, some of you guys might, but me, no way. If you guys are enjoying this video, please subscribe to the channel, tap the notification bell so you'll be notified when we release future videos, and smash the thumbs up button for me. It'll help this channel grow and it'll help these videos get in front of other people that it could help. When it comes to jobs in Round Rock, there are a ton of opportunities. There's a lot of large corporations there, big businesses there, there's small businesses there. You could probably find a job in any field you work in Round Rock. I mean, Dell is there, Dell Computers. That's one of the main, that was probably the first big company to come to Round Rock, which kind of put it on a map, put it on the map, so to speak. When Dell came in, they brought a bunch of people to work there. It started the growth. There's also Amazon, there's UPS, there's FedEx, there's 3 major hospitals. There's Baylor Scott and White, Seton Hospital, and St. David's Hospital. So if you're in the medical field, lots of opportunities for jobs there as well. If you're into working sales, or if you're into that kind of stuff, the outlet mall, the premium outlet mall, tons of shops, big area, lots of opportunities. If you're moving to Round Rock and you're not really quite sure what kind of job you want, or maybe you're working a certain job where you're at now, there's a good chance you can find a job coming into Round Rock. And if you could do that, you eliminate that whole entire commute to Austin. People who can figure that part out, I'm telling you, they're living a much happier life because they're not sitting in the car commuting up and down IH-35. If you're into construction, Chasco is there. Lots of construction in Round Rock and the cities around it. I'm sure those guys have never had a slow moment because there's a ton of growth in the Central Texas area. So lots of opportunities for the different job types out there. let's talk about it. Let's talk about the thing that can cost you extra money just to live there. Let's talk about MUD taxes. That stands for Municipal Utility District. So what that is when the developers, and you'll find this typically in master plan communities. So when the developers come in to develop the communities, they take out bonds, okay? And what happens with those bonds is they get paid off over time. So ideally, the idea behind the MUDs is that the residents that move in, the more residents that move in, the lower the tax rate goes, right? That's the thought behind it. And at some point, it'll be paid off. Now, these MUD bonds and stuff like that, they can be refinanced at lower rates and all kinds of stuff. So sometimes that can be extended, but it can take up to 30 years to pay off the MUDs. Now, one thing to consider if you're looking for a new home is there's a very good chance in the new home communities, they just took out those bonds, you're gonna have higher taxes right off the bat. So when you're moving into the city, we have what's called the city jurisdiction, and there's also ETJ, which is still Round Rock, but it's outside of the incorporated city limits. So you'll still have access to the Round Rock ISD schools and things like that, but you're not in the incorporated city. And the city, Round Rock's very good about paying down some of those bonds to keep that tax rate lower when it comes to your property taxes. This is all related to property taxes, guys. In Texas, it's kind of high already off the bat, right off the start, compared to a lot of other places. So anytime you can reduce the amount of taxes and the amount of tax rate, it's great for you, of course. You're paying less money, and it'll save you money in the long run. So I have some friends that bought houses, beautiful homes, beautiful communities, brand new, and this was years ago. So this is before people were really paying attention to the MUD thing. And the first year they bought the house, boom, it was great, payment was good, all is well. Well, the following year, when their property value is reassessed, and another thing that factors into that is when they do the property assessments at the county, if it's raw land and they're building a new home, part of that's gonna be based off the value it was when it was just raw land before the improvement was made. So it's gonna be lower, right? So when you move in, it's lower, it's good, the payment's good. Well, the following year, when it got reassessed, not only are they reassessing it with the improvement now, but also the MUD taxes went up and their payment jumped up like $400 a month. I don't know about you guys, but I can think of a lot of better things to spend $400 a month on than taxes just to live where I'm living. So again, guys, the MUD taxes, something you gotta be careful about. Is it the end of the world kind of thing? Not always. Some people just love an area and that's where they want to live and they don't really care. They're willing to pay it. Lots of people are like that. There's a lot of communities out there that are filling up and they have the MUD taxes. But something to be aware of and pay attention to when you're selecting your home. So I lived in Round Rock for about 5.5 years and I loved it. I moved in there and it was not quite as big as it is now. I was able to buy a brand new home at, believe it or not, $180,000, and it was like a 2,500 square foot, 5-bedroom, 2.5 bath home. 180,000. Those days are gone. So it's sad, but it is what it is, right? I mean, the cost of living has continuously gone up, and with it being as popular as it is, those prices have skyrocketed. But I loved living in Round Rock. I live close to Old Settlers Park because we like to take my son there when he was young, and my daughter too. She was a little bit older than my son, so she was kind of into the friend thing at that point. But we would still go to the park. There's a fishing pond, catch and release. You can fish, you can ride your bike, you can play on the playscapes. There was disc golf, soccer fields, baseball fields, all the things. So great place to live. We'd go down to the park, spend the day, let the kids burn off the energy, and then we'd be close to home. We'd just pack it back up. Within 10 minutes or so, we were home. I will say this, for those of you that do want that country feel, or who want to get away from the big city feel, that's what drove us out. So if you guys are looking for that big city feel, Round Rock's a great spot for it. If you want to have more space and you don't like that, and you don't like the congestion and the traffic that comes along with that, it's kind of a double-edged sword, right? You got the negatives that come with it, and you got the positives, like easy access to all the amenities you could ever want. The grocery store, there's a bunch of them. Schools, yeah, there's like 55 schools in Round Rock ISD. Tons of options as far as schools are concerned. You got big name restaurants, you got the outlet malls, you've got all the different parks, you got all the things to do. Round Rock's got a lot. Those are all the perks. The negatives for us, and for some of you probably, are going to be the traffic and the congestion, and it's crowded everywhere and whatnot. Just some of the things to consider. With all that being said though, Round Rock still continuously scores very high in the ratings for places to live, so people that live there love it. Another thing I want to touch on with that, as far as the community is concerned, tons of community events. You got parades, you got fireworks shows, they have events, they hold events in downtown Round Rock, they go to Old Settlers Park, and there's family events and stuff like that. You can also go down to downtown Round Rock, and it's been revitalized, so it's a nice place to hang out for like a date night or something like that. There are some kid places down there. I mean, the library's down there in downtown Round Rock, and there's an ice cream shop, and there's some things for you to do with kids. But for the adults, and if you're not into the 6th Street party animal type scene, downtown Round Rock's a great spot. Let me know in the comments below. Are you guys considering Round Rock for your move to the Austin, Texas area? Would you live in Round Rock, or would you choose somewhere that's a little bit further out, or would you go into Austin? Again, reach out to us, give us a call, text, email, nights, days, weekends. Doesn't matter. We'd love to hear from you guys and love to help you with any and all of your real estate needs. Please subscribe to the channel, tap the little notification bell for me, smash the thumbs up. Remember, we got your back when you move into Austin, Texas. Until the next time, we'll catch you later.